like as soon as that you got your first child, and you, like I'm sure that you didn't have the tools or nothing in terms of like how to be a dad, how to
No.
just
My parents
yeah.
weren't around by that time either. Like weren't speaking to my, so I was all on my own. You know what I mean? Like I had no one coming to save me, man.
Oh my
I had
gosh,
no one
yeah,
to fall back on, no one for advice. It was horrible,
yeah,
mate. And I was still not ready. I was drinking a lot. I was taking drugs. I was out
yeah.
partying. I was being an idiot. And having a kid dumped on my lap for someone like me that's quite stubborn, and it didn't really. It takes me a little while to adapt and to change to things and realise my downfalls and my cons. So it took me a little while to sort of get my head around actually that I'm a dad now. So I went to prison a year later, and that's when it all kicked in. Like, what, you've got a family at home, you're sat in prison, like it's time to change. And I actually got out of prison, and I was done 4 years sober. Like, when I got out of prison, as soon as I come out of prison, I was on tag. Then it was COVID, so he was in lockdown for ages. So I had a proper bad run for them few years. And
Frank,
yeah, when I
can I
got
just
out, I didn't drink anymore.
pause you there? That is sorry, Frank. I'm just trying to take the whole journey in. That is crazy because look,
Pretty mad,
from
isn't it?
when you was young, a child, you didn't get guidance from dad. Then you went
No.
into prison and had to navigate, and then you went on to becoming a parent. That's Frank. That's crazy. Without any guidance or structure or nothing, you
Yeah.
just wow.
It was
Oh
full
my
on.
God, wow.
And then went sober as well, which was
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was my coping mechanism. I drank from like 13 years old, and I had a problem with alcohol. I reckon probably from near enough when I started drinking.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
I think that for a lot of my life I suffered with anxiety. So when I had a beer, that all disappeared. All the noise disappeared. I was like,
Oh,
wow, this
Frank,
is a dream.
what was the thing that made you go off track, like from a young age? What do you think triggered it? Was it like that thing about when you were
I
saying about your dad not being there, or like in
Yeah,
terms of
so
a man, or
so I was in a, like I had a bad hip when I was born, so I was in a wheelchair for like 3 years, from 6 till I was 9. Now maybe that put some sort of feeling of vulnerability on me that I didn't like. And then when I got to 10, my mum had I don't know, this is a bit bad to share with randomers, but my mum had an affair with my dad's best friend when I was 10. The reason they told me, now I don't agree with that. I don't listen. If my wife, God forbid, ever did that, my kids don't need to know about that. She's still a great mum. Now, yes, she would have fucked up as a parent. Sorry, but I didn't need to know that at 10 years old. And I think I've lost all respect for my mum and all trust. That's the one person you should be able to trust. And then because my dad didn't leave or put the geezer in the ground, I also then lost all respect for my dad. So I think at that point in my life, I went, well, I've got these two people that are supposed to watch over me and protect me. They're the only people on this planet that I can rely on in this big bad world.
oh
And
my
now I think
gosh,
I think one's a tramp, and I think the other one is a weak